We have all been there. I mean, that uniquely awkward social moment. You've just been introduced to someone, and then poof, the name they literally just said has completely vanished from your brain. But what if I told you that isn't a flaw? What if it's actually a feature?
You know that feeling, right? On the outside, you're just nodding and smiling along. But on the inside, it is pure absolute panic. The name has just evaporated. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you're going to want to stick around, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see yourself. Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. This whole experience doesn't mean you're rude or damaged or boring. Not at all. In fact, it might just mean your brain is doing something incredibly advanced.
So let's try to reframe this whole thing. What feels like a glitch could actually be a sign that your brain is running a really sophisticated program. You see, it's not a bug, it's a built-in feature.
Okay, so let's dive into our first big idea. Your brain is playing chess while a lot of others are just playing checkers. And look, this isn't about being better or worse. It's about a completely different strategy for processing the world around you.
Just look at the difference here. A checker's brain, well, it's all about efficiency, right? Record the name, delete most of the other input. It's focused on the surface. But a chess brain? Well, it's playing a much, much deeper game. It's busy analyzing microexpressions, it's cross-referencing body language. A simple name is just one tiny piece on a very large, very complex board.
So, what's really behind this chess brain? Well, the first reason is that you might have what some researchers call an 8K IMAX brain. And this is all about a trait known as high sensory processing sensitivity.
And hey, if this is starting to sound like you are definitely not alone. Roughly 20% of all people share this trait. All it means is that your nervous system is simply wired to process everything, sights, sounds, feelings, with incredible depth and intensity. Think of it like this. While most people are experiencing a social interaction in, say, standard definition, your brain is processing it in stunning 8K IMAX. With that sheer volume of data just flooding in, a simple label like a name can get lost in the mix. It's just too much information.
And what kind of data are we even talking about? Well, it's like your brain is taking this ultra-high-resolution screenshot of the entire moment. You're capturing tiny facial movements, the little shifts in their vocal tone, their overall emotional state. You're even sensing their level of authenticity. In that massive data file, a name is just a single tiny pixel. All right, next up, let's talk about emotional Wi-Fi. This is the idea that your brain isn't just listening to the words coming out of someone's mouth, it's constantly scanning for all those invisible signals, the feelings and the intentions that are being broadcast just underneath.
Now, there's actually a psychological term for this. It's called high perceptual sensitivity. It's basically the ability to sense what's not being said, to hear the real conversation that's happening on an emotional and, an energetic level.
I absolutely love this way of framing it. You don't just observe people, you download them. So while other people are just grabbing a name, your brain is busy downloading this huge, complex file on their entire emotional state. You're sensing their anxiety or the genuineness of their smile, or maybe some unspoken burden they might be carrying.
And where does this even come from? Well, for a lot of people, it's a finely honed survival skill. It often starts like this. First, you learn to read the room just to survive. Then, you train yourself to anticipate what people need and how to diffuse tension. This leads you to prioritize what's real, safety and authenticity. And ultimately, your brain's primary job becomes scanning for energy, not for simple nouns. It's a survival masterpiece, really.
So our final idea really gets to the heart of it. Depth over labels. For some brains, it's a simple matter of preference. You're just wired to choose the complexity of a full symphony over the simple background noise of elevator music.
This preference might actually come down to brain chemistry. Think of it like fuel. A lot of social brains run on dopamine, which rewards that social buzz and noise. But a more introspective brain, it's often fueled by something called acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that rewards deep focus and connecting complex patterns. So while you're sitting there thinking you're failing to remember a name, your brain is actually getting a reward for composing a symphony of meaning.
So let's reframe this whole thing once and for all. It's not that you're missing out on the social game. It's that you are, consciously or unconsciously, opting out of a system that so often values shallow noise over meaningful depth.
And this is what it all comes down to. The next time you forget a name, I want you to remember this isn't a failure, it's a choice. Your brain is simply prioritizing the loudest truths about a person, their energy, their emotion, their authenticity, over the quietest, most superficial label there is.
So what do you think? Do you see yourself in any of this?
If you're on team, what's your name again? I say wear it with pride, because as it turns out, you're in some pretty sophisticated company.